The 1972 Lincoln cent. Look closely, because this exact coin could be worth up to $14,000. It's a coin you might find in any ordinary pocket or forgotten jar. But what if I told you that a specific version of this exact penny could be worth anywhere from $3,000 to over $14,000? It's a year stamped into billions of pennies, but a microscopic mistake, made at the Philadelphia Mint over 5 decades ago, turned a handful of these coins into absolute legends. Could you have ONE in your pocket, right now? Let's find out. To truly understand this coin, we have to look entirely at what was happening in the historic year of 1972. The United States economy was booming, inflation was rising, and the demand for everyday base metal pocket change was reaching unprecedented heights. The US Mint was working around the clock under immense pressure, pushing its machinery to the absolute limit. To meet this insatiable demand, the minting facilities pumped out billions of pennies at lightning speed. In the year 1972 alone, the production numbers were staggered across 3 major facilities. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 2.9 billion pennies without a mint mark. The Denver Mint stamped out more than 2.6 billion coins, bearing the D mint mark. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Mint struck over 376 million regular circulation pennies and over 3.2 million proof coins marked with an S. In total, nearly 6 billion pennies were flooded into American circulation in that single 12-month period. In the midst of this chaotic, high-speed mass production, something went incredibly wrong at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1972, creating a working coin die was a highly delicate, multi-step process. A heavy steel hub containing the positive image of the design had to press down into a blank working die multiple times to perfectly transfer every single detail. If the hub or the die shifted, even a fraction of a millimeter between those separate strikes, it created a permanent misalignment on the die itself. This manufacturing failure resulted in the birth of the legendary 1972 double die obverse, specifically the famous die variety number 1. Unlike minor errors that require a microscope to see, this specific 1972 mistake resulted in a dramatic, sweeping misalignment toward the southwest. When you look closely at a genuine 1972 double die, the numbers in the date 1972, the entire word liberty, and the motto I in God we trust, appear completely split and doubled, looking as if the machine typed the letters twice, right next to each other. Mint workers eventually caught the error, but before they could stop the machines and destroy the faulty die, an estimated 75,000 of these dramatic error pennies had already been mixed into massive canvas bags and shipped out to banks across the country. This triggered a massive coin hunting craze across America that year, as people realized rare treasure had just been released into their pockets. So, what are these 1972 coins actually worth today? If you find a regular, non-error 1972 penny from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco in heavily worn, circulated condition, it is generally worth just its face value of ONE cent, or about 2 to 3 cents for its raw copper meltdown value. However, because these coins are 95% copper and 5% zinc, they tone beautifully over time. If you find a normal 1972 penny that was preserved in an old collection and remains in perfect uncirculated condition, retaining its original brilliant red luster, the value jumps. Common uncirculated grades like Mint State 64 or 65 can sell for $15 to $50. If you happen to stumble upon a flawless, regular strike specimen graded at an elusive Mint State 67 or higher, serious Lincoln cent collectors will fight for it at auction, driving prices anywhere from $150 to over $3,500. But the real fortune is hidden within that elusive 1972 double die obverse error. Because only a tiny fraction of the 6 billion pennies minted that year carry this specific mistake, the scarcity has driven collector value sky high. If you manage to find an authentic 1972 double die in dirty, heavily circulated pocket change, it can easily command $300 to $400 from a coin dealer on the spot. If you are incredibly lucky enough to discover one sitting in a forgotten coin jar that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, the financial reward is staggering. High-grade examples certified by major third-party grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service or the Numismatic Guarantee Company regularly shatter records, selling anywhere from $3,000 to over $14,000 at major heritage auctions. A minor but exceedingly rare 1972 double-die obverse 4 Lincoln Center graded Pcedus, Mississippi 66 Road, just sold for about 15 times the value of the well-known major double-die in the same grade. It was sold by Great Collections on June 25 for $21,811.50, after heavy bidding in the last few seconds of the auction. The major 1972 double-die in that grade normally fetches no more than around $1,500 at auction. So, what are you waiting for? Grab a magnifying glass, get under a bright light, and start checking those old coin jars, piggy banks, and couch cushions. You never know when a little piece of 1972 history might just change your life.